Hey guys, just got done with the fifth Hellraiser movie, Hellraiser Inferno, part of the 4-pack Blu-ray I've got. For some reason you can get Inferno and I think Bloodline in a double pack, and then Bloodline separately, and Hellseeker and Hellworld separately, but you can't get Inferno separately, which is a bit weird, I think. And the weirdest thing is they missed 7 out, which is Deader, and put Hellworld in. That don't make sense, but it doesn't matter because that's not part of the review. Okay, so in my last review I complained and said that Bloodline was dreadful, never watch it again, put you off the series, blah 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 blah. But I'm glad my opinion's changed, not of Bloodline, but of Inferno. So basically, let's start off with the basics. Inferno stars Craig Sheffer, Nicholas Toro, James Remar, and Doug Bradley. James Remar is always great. Love him in whatever he's in, whether it's The Warriors, Dexter, The Girl Next Door, Sex and the City. He's excellent in everything. So basically, it starts out with a detective. It starts off like a film noir with Detective Joseph Thorne, basically played by Craig Sheffer, who was in One Tree Hill, one of my favourite shows. Oh yeah, right. And basically, he tells a crime scene where this person's kind of had like these hooks inside them, and there's a finger left on the side. And basically, he goes home. I think he goes home. He goes home at some point, and then he decides to go and pick up a prostitute because he says what the wife doesn't know, basically won't know, and if it keeps the marriage going, then that's good. Personally, don't agree, but you know, it's Hellraiser. You got to have despicable characters. So basically, he sleeps with a prostitute, and then he goes into the bathroom, and or restroom, whatever you want to call it. I think it's bathroom, and he basically does something. The box starts opening, the puzzle box. They call it the mental box. They call it something. I like calling it the puzzle box. It opens out, goes doot, 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 like it does in every other movie. And then all of a sudden, he's in this kind of world, walking about in it. And he hears this girl crying, and these two Cenobite, like twin Cenobite women, put their hands in his chest, and he goes like this, oh, oh, and you can tell he's getting off on it, right? You're like, yay, right? Let's see if I can get their names. What are their names? Nope, there's no names for them. But anyway, so he finally gets out of that, and you see the Chatwin Cenobite cut in half, like just on his arms, which was awesome. I love that Cenobite. Woohoo! Peace out, Cenobite chat. So he goes downstairs, basically wakes up, she's laying in the bed. He goes, hey all, you right? Leaves, goes to work, gets a phone call, she's crying on the phone saying help me, help me, help me. Turns up there basically with his partner. His partner sees the dead woman and says, basically, what did you do? You were taking drugs with this woman. You must have killed her. And basically, there's another finger. Now, the storyline in the movie is quite exciting. I like the whole film noir mystery kind of Groundhog Day slash Triangle, because Triangle is very similar to Groundhog Day and the repeating stuff. And also, I really enjoyed the whole kind of Max Payne kind of thing. What I mean by Max Payne is not the film, the game, as in he's a struggling detective who basically has done a lot of wrong things and he wants to kind of correct himself. Except I find Craig Schaefer's character, Joseph Thorne, to be actually worse than Max Payne. Obviously, two different characters. So basically, Detective Joseph Thorne, is trying to find redemption by finding the little girl or little child who's getting their fingers cut off and who's basically in trouble. So he goes around, black man pill for drugs, and he goes around basically trying to figure things out, and he knows exactly where all the fingers are when no one else can find them. And he's going around, and you're like, okay, And basically, you're like, okay, it's trying to figure this all out. This is getting interesting. And doing different parts, you see Cenobites, like their faces, like he's seeing them. And then he goes after them, and they're just how to be normal people, like they're there haunting him. And it's a really good bit where he looks in the mirror in a tattoo shop, and the guy who just interrogated, there's two Cenobites dancing on the, moving on the back of his back, and they're kind of talking to him. It's really, and when he turns around to attack the bloke, they're gone. I found that very effective. The Cenobites in this film look nowhere as good as the original Cenobites, which is terrible. When you think this film came out in, what, 2000s, and the other ones came in 1987, 1988, the original two. I really like the fact that Pinhead and the Cenobites were used appropriately, but not overused. Like, for instance, you saw the Cenobites, and you knew that Pinhead was around. He wasn't there, but you knew he was around. This film really reminded me of 1 and 2 in a way. Not as good, but in that kind of category. See, 3 and 4, to me, 3 was alright, but 4 was dreadful. 5 should have been number 3, in my view, because it's got that kind of element, that darkness, that grittiness, where you can't tell whether or not what the character's seeing is real or not. Is he going crazy? Is he in his own hell already? You know, so you're following this character, and he goes to see the psychiatrist, Dr. Paul Gregory, or therapist, whatever you want to call him, and he basically says things to him like the dead person was found on the floor beside the box. And you think to yourself, hold on a minute, Joseph Thorne was on the floor beside the box when he woke up. Is it a coincidence? Is it? And then there's this bit where, through the whole movie, Craig Sheffer's character, Jason Thorne, is, I feel like I'm saying Bone, Jason Thorne. He's getting more and more disgusting. What I mean by that is he's getting scars on him, he's looking dirty, he's looking ragged, he's looking like he's going crazy. And his partner, Nicholas Turturro, who is Tonen Nenonen, he's a great side character who plays his detective partner. I did like his character, but I have to admit, I wasn't focusing on him that much because I didn't really care, because I was too busy watching Jason Thorne's whole experience. Like, what's happening to him? Is this all in his mind? Did he open the box? Is he still at the box? Did they kill him when the box was open? What's going on? So you're getting through it, and basically each person who finds dead has a finger, and it turns out to be one finger left. There's a bit where he goes to see his parents in the hospital, and they go, "Oh, we didn't know they had a son or any kids." So he runs down the hallway, goes in there, and his mum is sitting there going, "Oh, you don't come and visit us anymore, eh? Joseph." I always call him Joseph. You don't come and visit us, Joseph? And his dad's like, because he can't move out of the bed and all this. And then all of a sudden, something happens, and it repeats itself. And he runs back there with the gun, and he goes in there, and they're missing. But this is the great bit. It reminded me of number 2 with the mattress with blood on. Because when they touch the mattress, blood seeps through the white sheet, and he moves the sheet, and it's all blood on it. And it reminded me of number 2 with Claire Higgins' character coming out the mattress. It reminded me of that. That didn't happen, but it reminded me of that. So I thought that was a good kind of homage to the original 2. So then it repeats itself, and you're like, hold on a minute. Is this a sign? Is this the way it's going to be, you know? Is it, what's the word? Is it trying to tell us that he's repeating himself? So we're going through it even more, and I don't want to ruin all of it. You know, I like skipping some out so I don't have to ruin things, because otherwise then I'll review with everything in it. So, you know. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and then basically he ends up in this really, really dark place. And it's like, wow. It's like all of a sudden you feel like you're back to Hellraiser 1 and 2 with the whole dark stuff going around. It's world falling apart. It goes in his home, and he sees his wife and daughter going around on, like, I think that wooden block from the third one. No, the second one. But goes round at the end, I think. And they're getting hypothermia because it's snowing in his living room. And James Remar's character, Dr. Paul Gregory, he says, "Hello, Joseph. They ran the prince on the box," or something like that. And, well, you know what came up? And he looks at him and he goes, "You, but as a child." And you're like... And he calls him, he says to James Remar's character, Dr. Gregory, he says, "Are you the engineer?" Because through the movie, he's searching for the engineer who's killing these people. Supposedly, you know. And he says, "I've been called a lot of things." And this is when the CGI was in the prime of being terrible and also good. Like that really, really crap CGI where it was great, but it was also awful. And we never thought we'd get anything better. How things have changed. So James Remar turns into Pinhead, played by Doug Bradley, as fantastic as ever. Love Doug Bradley, I think he's awesome. I love him in this, love him Wrong Turn, love him in quite a few different things. Wrong Turn 5 days. And he says to him, "I told you to go home, find yourself, and go home again." And he says all this other stuff, which was really amazing, and I was like, oh, I was freaking out, you know, marking out for him. Yeah, Pinhead, Pinhead, you know. And that's when you start realising that things are really going downhill for the character of Joseph Fong. Because what happens in the end is it turns out that he is already in hell that he created. For himself, from these actions and from the way he was. And basically, I'm guessing, when he opened the box, he died, and he just keeps repeating the same day over and over and over again. And it was very, very creepy, because we all get those moments of deja vu, where we remember things have happened. And it's really, really creepy when it does happen. So it being in a movie is even worse. And the Hellraiser universe as well. Now, the film itself, I thought was really good. Did I like it as much as I liked 1 and 2? No. I liked it slightly less. I do believe that this film, if anybody wants to watch the films, they should watch Inferno as number 3 before they watch the others. Because Inferno, to me, had that darkness, that gritty, that kind of surreal element. Nowhere near the 1 or 2, but kind of in that category. You know, Craig Sheffer was excellent as Jason Fong. Nicholas Turturro was great. James Remar always great. Doug Bradley awesome. The director of the movie was Scott Derrickson. Now I don't know if I watched anything else he's done, but it was a great movie. I highly recommend Inferno. It really helped after watching Terrible Bloodline earlier. Oh, I can't get that horrible movie in my head. Inferno is number 3 in my book, in the top 4 so far. It's number 1, 2, Inferno, and then it's Hell on Earth. So, final thoughts on Hellraiser Inferno. It's a lot of fun. It's an easy watch. You can relax. It's got a great film noir feeling to it. It's always got that grittiness and darkness of Hellraiser. You might not see Pinhead and the Cenobites all the time, but they're there. And they do show up now and again. And you do see that real darkness, gritty. And I do love the whole story. The story was great. Craig Sheffer was great. And I really felt for Jason Fong in the end, because I felt like he had a really dark life when he was alive. And he was really, really stupid, you know, because we're doing all that stuff. But in the world he was stuck in now, he just wanted to find redemption by saving the child whose fingers were getting cut off. But the problem with that is it's him. Another thing which was great was in the second scene where he hears the woman on the phone again repeating. He gets the gun out and shoots himself in the mouth, you know, in the head. And then he wakes up again and the same thing. So I think there's nothing worse than the idea of living your worst day over and over and over and over again. You know, the question is, how would you feel if that was your worst day and it had to happen? Because I could never imagine having to go through the worst days of my life over and over again, because that is true hell. And I really think that Inferno is a great Hellraiser movie. So that's Hellraiser Inferno. I give it a 3.5 because I don't want to rate it as higher than Hellraiser 2, because I did like Hellraiser 2 slightly better. I think, don't get me wrong, they've all got their own negatives in them, you know. Like, Inferno's it's a bit cliche at times, but then, let's be honest, by now nearly everything's cliche. You know, how often do you get, and it was made in 2000, 14 years ago. So, I can let off of that, you know. So, yeah, Hellraiser Inferno, highly recommend it. If you want to own any Hellraiser movies, buy Hellraiser 1, Hellraiser Hellbound 2, Hellraiser, and Hellraiser Inferno. They're the three good ones so far. Hell on Earth's alright, but I don't like it as much as Inferno. So, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll be back with, there it is, Hellseeker. Talk to you soon, guys. Ta-ta.